In this video, you're going to learn how to make the basket portion of a plant hanger using a square knot. Depending on where you want your pot to be for your plant hanger, using a measuring tape might help you. You need to take two pieces from two different spirals, one filler cord and one outside cord, that you will join together to make your square knot. For this plant hanger, I decided that about 16 inches from the bottom of my spirals would be a good beginning place to start making the basket. Once you have found your spot, and in this case 16 inches for me, you will make a square knot. To make a square knot, you need to take the left cord and place it over top of the two filler cords. The right cord will go over top of that cord, in behind and up through the hole that you just made. Then you're going to take the right cord, wrap it over top of the two filler cords, and take now the left cord over top, in behind, and up through the middle of the hole that you just made with the right cord. Tighten and make sure it's got a good tension and nice and level. At this point, I like to go back to the top of my piece and rotate it so I know which cords I still need to work with. You need to now take two cords from two other spirals, so 4 cords in total, 2 filler cords and 2 outside cords, and you're going to run your hand down until you reach the square knot that you just made. Make sure you haven't twisted any of the cords and that your spirals are also not twisted. Find where your other square knot is and make another square knot. If you need to adjust it to make sure that they're at the same level, go ahead and do so. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to try to make them at the same spot. Go back to the top, rotate your plant hanger, and find the cords that you need to work with, making sure that they're not tangled. There should be 4 left for you, 2 filler cords and 2 outside cords. Run your hands down to find your other square knots and make your last square knot. When you're done your last square knot, line them all up together, make sure that they're level. Adjust any that you need to. Now you're going to take 2 cords from each square knot, one of the filler cords and the outside cord, and from the other square knot, one of the filler cords and one of the outside cords. The outside cords of these 2 square knots will now become the filler cords for your new square knot. And the inside cords will now become the working cords for your new square knot. Take the left cord, wrap it over top of the 2 filler cords, and the right cord over top of that left cord, in behind and up through the hole. You want it to be about 3 inches away from your top square knot, or larger if you have a larger pot. But for this size pot that I'll be using, about 3 inches works well. Finish off your square knot by using your right cord over top of the filler cords and taking the left cord, putting it over top and in behind and up through the middle. I apologize you can't see the bottom part of this square knot as my camera was a little bit too high. You're now going to take 2 cords from that one of the square knots that you just worked on, and there's one other square knot that you haven't touched yet. You're going to take 2 cords from that one as well. And you're going to do the same thing that you just did. Make a square knot about 3 inches away from these 2 knots, and making sure that it lines up with the other knot you just made. At this point, you should have 4 cords left over for you to make one last square knot. Make sure they're not twisted and make your last square knot. You have now created a basket and you are almost done. Yay! It's time to get your pot and put it inside to make sure all the square knots are level. Place the pot inside of your basket and hold at the bottom with your hands. making sure that each of those last square knots that you just did end up right at the edge of the bottom of the pot. I like to use one of those mini clear elastics to secure underneath the pot. That way, when I'm doing the gathering knot, I don't have to worry about holding all of the rope. Not a necessary step, but I find it extremely helpful. When you're finished pulling the ropes through, I like to make sure that the elastic is in the middle of the bottom of the pot, and I like to pull some of the ropes to make sure that they're nice and even underneath. And there you go, you're almost done. You have one more step, another gathering knot at the bottom of this plant hanger. Watch my video, how to make a gathering knot to finish this plant hanger. But for the video's sake, here's me doing it really quick. Get that plant in there. Now all you need to do is cut a blunt cut at the bottom of your plant hanger. I usually like to leave about 5 inches or so, and then unravel each piece and you'll get a crimpy effect. And that's it, you're done. You're finished your very own plant hanger. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.